What if I told you here was a hidden story of resilience and rebellion during the darkest chapter in human history? A young African warrior, torn from his homeland, transforms his pain into a fight for freedom and love. This is the gripping tale they never teach in schools. Stay with me to uncover the truth. In the late 17th century, the transatlantic slave trade was at its peak, a grim chapter in human history that saw millions of Africans torn from their homes. Our story begins in a vibrant village nestled among the lush forests of West Africa, where Kofi, a skilled hunter and protector of his tribe, lived a life filled with laughter, love, and dreams. His heart belonged to Omar, a spirited woman whose laughter echoed through the trees like music. Together, they envisioned a future of freedom and adventure. But one fateful night, as the village celebrated a successful hunt under the glow of the moon, chaos erupted. Slave traders descended upon them, armed and ruthless. Kofi fought valiantly, his spear dancing through the air as he defended his people. But despite his bravery, he was overwhelmed by sheer numbers. As he was shackled and dragged away, he locked eyes with Omar one last time. Her face was a mask of terror and heartbreak. In that moment, Kofi vowed to return to her no matter what it took. The journey across the ocean was a nightmare that Kofi could never have imagined. Cramped in the dark hold of a ship alongside dozens of other captives, he witnessed unimaginable horrors. The stench of sweat and despair hung heavy in the air as they were chained together like animals. Each day brought new suffering. Disease spread rapidly among them, and many succumbed to despair or madness. Kofi's spirit wavered as he listened to the cries of those around him. He remembered Ama's laughter and her dreams for their future. It became his lifeline.
We are not just cargo. We are warriors. We will not let them break us,
he shouted during hushed gatherings in the dark. The others rallied around him, igniting a flicker of hope amidst their shared suffering. But hope turned to horror when one night, a storm rocked the ship violently. The crew struggled to maintain control as waves crashed against the hull. In that chaos, Kofi saw an opportunity, a chance to fight back against their captors. He whispered plans for rebellion to his fellow captives, knowing that this might be their only chance at freedom. As dawn broke over the turbulent sea, Kofi's heart raced with anticipation. The plan was set. They would fight for their freedom when the ship docked at its destination. But betrayal lurked among them. Jabari, a fellow captive who had grown fearful of retribution from their captors, revealed their plans to one of the guards in exchange for safety.
You think you can escape? You belong to us now.
One guard sneered as they were confronted on deck.
We are not your property. We are human beings,
Kofi shouted defiantly.
Oh, shed your cramp. Deal with him.
Chaos erupted as guards descended upon them, with whips and swords drawn. Kofi fought fiercely alongside his allies, but Jabari's betrayal had cost them dearly. As they clashed against their captors, Kofi felt despair wash over him when he saw friends fall around him. In a moment of desperation, Kofi made a split-second decision. He would lead those who remained into the woods surrounding the port rather than face certain death on board. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, Kofi sprinted into the dense forest, with a small group of survivors, each step fueled by determination and fear, but danger was everywhere. They could hear shouts from behind them as guards pursued relentlessly.
Keep running, don't look back,
Kofi urged his companions as branches whipped against their skin like lashes. The forest became both their sanctuary and prison. Every rustle could be an enemy or an ally. They stumbled upon an abandoned cabin deep within the woods, a potential refuge, or another trap set by their pursuers. As they caught their breath inside, Kofi shared stories of courage from his homeland to keep spirits high.
We will not be forgotten. We will fight for our freedom,
he declared passionately. But just as hope began to blossom among them, footsteps approached outside. The guards had found them. In a desperate bid for survival, Kofi led his group out into the open just as guards burst through the door. A fierce battle ensued. Kofi fought valiantly, but knew that not all would make it out alive. Amidst chaos and confusion, he lost sight of his comrades, but pressed on through fear and uncertainty. Finally emerging from the woods into an unfamiliar landscape, Kofi found himself alone, but alive, a survivor in search of freedom. He stumbled upon an underground network aiding runaway slaves who welcomed him with open arms. Here he shared his harrowing story, his journey from captivity to escape, and inspired others with tales of resilience.
We will rise together. Our stories will echo through time,
he proclaimed to those gathered around him. As we reflect on Kofi's harrowing journey from capture to escape, we must ask ourselves, what lessons can we learn from this untold history? How can we honor those who fought for freedom? This is not just Kofi's story, it is our story, a continuation that invites us all to stand against oppression and champion freedom for all humanity. Join us next time as we delve deeper into Kofi's fight for justice and explore how these echoes of resilience resonate in our lives today. What will you do with this knowledge? Keep this vital narrative alive, because every story deserves to be told, and every voice deserves to be heard. Like, share this story with your loved ones. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next part of the story. Kindly comment below if any question comes your mind, and thanks for watching.